Hello everybody, I'm James from the CryptoFred76 team, and I'm back with another video on how to make your own Imaginext coats, because there are a lot of characters here, like we have the Joker, Captain Boomerang, and a few other characters that you might want to make a coat for. So I know what you're thinking, hey, where's Kevin? Isn't he normally making the custom videos? And you'll be right, so that's why I am actually here with my dad, Kevin.
Hello everybody, this is Kevin, the senior member of the CryptoFred76 team, and I'm here to help James make custom Imaginext coats.
So as you can see, we have two different types of coats here. One of them is for Captain Boomerang, which, yeah, if you could turn that, Kevin, thanks, is more of a casual kind of rough and tough look, based a little bit on the Jai Courtney continuity with a popped collar. And then for the Joker, we have...
Joker's more of a button-down look. You can see the shoulders are a lot smoother. It goes over his back this way. More the way you would expect Joker to look, maybe animated series.
Alright, so we will show you guys how to make both of these coats right now. So let's get started.
Okay, so we're going to start with Commissioner Gordon. We're going to use the brown duct tape for this one because he's kind of a brown character. You start by peeling off a piece of duct tape. Who would have thought? So, pull it off, and you want to make sure it's more than long enough to go all the way around your figure. So we get a nice good piece here. Don't be afraid to waste duct tape. You've got plenty of duct tape. It's not that big a deal. And then we're going to take a second piece of duct tape about the same length and rip that off too. There we go. Two pieces of duct tape about the same length. We're going to put one right on top of the other. Line it up as close as you can.
No sleeping on the job. Very
carefully. And just tape sticky side to sticky side, tape them together. Alright, brown and brown. We got this part sticking off here. We knew that was going to happen. It's not a big deal. I'm going to take my scissors and cut a nice even edge on this one. Here we go. Nice smooth even edge. Perfect. Now, the commish. He's going to stick his arms out. We're going to start measuring. You want the coat to fall. You don't want it to go all the way around in front of him because you want to be able to see some of his detail underneath. And the legs are always going to be wider than the shoulders, which is fine. You're going to start by right here. You want to just eyeball about where that shoulder joint is on the coat. Make a cut here. Just a little cut. So if it's going to go there, and it goes around back, I'm going to put another cut right on the back where it is. There we go. Cut that down. Cut that down. And his arm's going to fit right in there. A little bigger than I intended. Fits right in there. Gonna make a second cut here at the back where his second shoulder is. Cut it down. Now, we want to keep things pretty even, so we're going to fold this over. Okie dokie. I already made these cuts, so we're going to fold it over here. Fold it over, nice and even. Make these cuts nice and deep here and here. Now we got two flaps that fold down, evenly spaced across. Here we go. How's it look? So we look here on the back. It goes all the way across his shoulder joints. We're looking here on the front. This is going to fold over in front here. And the last thing we're going to do is fold it in half one more time. Two more things, actually. We're going to cut these flaps off. One. Two. Oops. And then we're going to even this out. Boom. So if you open it up, it's a mirror image. I'm going to break off another piece of tape. Nice and easy. This one's going to be pretty small. So we're going to trim it down. There we go. Now, take your coat. We're going to line this piece up right inside of here. About halfway. And this folds over. So we're left with this. This is going to be the inside of the coat though. So folds over this. This is, cut this down some. Again. Okie dokie. These pieces come around this way. In front. So it looks like that. This side comes around. And it looks like, okay, this part right here is where his head is going to be. So we cut this out. Snip. Snip. Good. And let's get rid of these extra wide shoulder pads. One. Two. Alright, we're getting close. Fit the coat on him. Oh yeah, this is looking nice. Okay, so we have his fitted right over there. He's just got his 80 shoulder pads going on now. That's from the back. So it's easy. One last strip of tape here. I'll rip it off and show it to you. There we go. Cut it down. Take the smaller bit. Put it over here. And in the back, you're going to go across this way. And that is what holds that shoulder down. See how one is nice and smooth now and the other one's still popping out. So we take another piece of tape. Start on the shoulder. And fold it over. There we go. There. Now that is looking pretty sweet. Commish. The old commish. Now, just a little touch-up work. We're going to take it off. It helps if, on this jacket anyway, if you push the arms back and then put them up over his head, the hands end up closer together and it goes on and off a little easier. Now we're going to take our scissors. Alright, like that. I got this flap on the back. Doesn't look terrible, but we could still even it out a little bit more. Straight across. There we are. Just about done now. This is it. Got those arms up. As it comes down, kind of circle around behind him to get that coat on. There we go. Commissioner Gordon. Wearing his coat. Now, just like we did, oh, you know what else I forgot? Along the bottom here, you see we have this white line along the bottom. I'm just eyeballing it here, but Commissioner Gordon's coat. This coat, I want him to fall right around his knees, which means that we have a little extra on the bottom already. I want to straighten that out. So I'm going to take it off. We also have a white line down there from where the tape overlapped. Take this off. And our scissors. Just cut a nice, straight, even line right across there. Here we go. Last bit, like I did on the Joker jacket, I'm going to take my extra fine Sharpie. Make a little line. Make a little line. Where are you? Where are you? Cameraman? You can just adjust a little bit. That is perfect. Make a little line. Come down. Jag out. Come down. And that adds a little collar detail to the whole thing. Start over here. It's going to come down. Jags out. Comes down again. Doesn't have to be even. Just has to be close. We got the lines on both sides and that, yeah, right there, right there. And if I go over onto the back, I'm just going to follow that path along on the back. Highlight the line a little bit. And that's where his collar falls. Hard to see with the glare, actually. But it's there, I promise. Here we go. With the commish. Wearing his coat. On those dark, stormy nights, when he meets Batman on a lonely rooftop, it'll be nice and warm. Batman's got a cape, the commish has a coat. Boom! That's how you make the trench coat. We're going to do the popped collar next, and I'm going to let my man James handle that portion. So take it away, James.
Alright, this is James back, and now I'm going to make a shorter jacket for Red Hood. So we are going to start with some silver duct tape now. You might remember Jason Todd after he becomes Red Hood. In the comics, he does have a brown jacket, but for this look, since we already used brown for the Commissioner, I decided to go with the silver tape. So you want to rip a piece of your duct tape off. Let me move Red Hood back a little bit. Rip off a piece of your tape. Just rip that right there. Now this tape, you might notice, it is not the same duct tape brand, so it might look a little jagged, but we could easily trim this up. And then you want to make another piece. This is very similar to Kevin's. Okay, sorry if you saw a camera adjustment there. The camera fell over. So as you can see, as far as the tape goes, I have a pretty straight line here. Except on the ends, it is very jagged. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my scissors. You could also do this with a box cutter or your utility knife. I'm just going to use scissors. It's the safest way to do this. Okay, so here we go. It is a lot shorter. I did have to snip this amount off, but that's okay. So what you want to do is I like to just lay it out on the self-healing mat. Okay, so right here, yeah, you'll be folding it into quarters. So right from here, you just want to cut some armholes. Now, the only thing is you don't want to do it too far out because then it'll look weird and you won't have a good armhole. Now, the reason that I do it in half is because it is easier to cut a circle that way. You see, that's a pretty nice hole. It is a lot easier to cut an armhole when it is in half than trying to cut a circle, because then you're gonna have to like poke your scissors in your tape and it's just not gonna go too well. Alright, we're getting there. Should be almost done. Okay, whatever. That's good enough. So you can see that's a little wonky, but personally, I don't really care. Thank you, cameraman. So once you have the coat done, you have all the armholes and everything, you want to try to slip it on there. Okay, perfect. So, As you can see, it is a pretty good coat. If you could see from the overhead, it is looking pretty snazzy, if I do say so myself. Moving back a little bit so that you guys could see him. And he actually does look pretty good, a little menacing, and it looks really good. The only thing that I have to do to this, actually, there are two more things that I need to do to this cape, or to this coat. And that would be, number one, we're going to make it shorter, because Jason Todd does not have a long coat, like maybe Captain Boomerang or any of the other characters that we showed. He does have a considerably shorter cape, so that might be a little too short, but whatever, doesn't matter. You could always try again. And so you want to make sure that it is at his waist, and it looks like I have done just that. I am a master at cutting tape. Nobody can outweigh my skill level of cutting tape. And then, so yeah. So another thing that I like to do, just so that it doesn't stick out so much, is I actually like to cut the corners off of my off of my coats, because I just think that it looks better, and you could see more of the figure. And so if it does pop out like this, it's not that big of a deal. So now we are going to move on to the actual challenging part of this, which would not be cutting armholes, would not be cutting it short, but instead, if you look at some pictures online, you can see that he does actually have this bat logo on the back of his coat. So what I'm going to have to do is use some masking tape right here. This is red masking tape. The reason that I use masking tape is because it's pretty thin, and it's really easy to work with. You are going to need a utility knife for this, or you could even use an X-Acto for this. This X-Acto is a little dull, so I am going to go with the utility knife. But pretty much this is how you want to go about doing it. So what you want to do is you want to make it flat. That's the important thing. It is very, very easy to cut when it is flat. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to place Red Hood right next to here. You want to make it about the same. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go from top to bottom, and I'm going to try to do these little wing things here with the slant. So you want to go from top all the way to bottom. You could try to get your knife under there, and then just peel away at it. Okay, so next thing you're going to do is you're going to, sorry for the bad angles on this, you're going to have to come over here. Again, just go from top to bottom. Just like that. Now, it's going to get a little bit more challenging. You're going to have to try to just do your best here. I'm just freehanding this. I have no templates, no source of reference except for my figure. So, I have no idea where I'm cutting. Oopsies. Yeah, so you just want to try to eyeball it. Go for your best. Okay, so after some very, very tedious work, I have the bat symbol done, and it looks pretty good. I don't know how much of my making we're going to do because you couldn't really see it, but the main thing to keep in mind is I used some very easy and some very light materials. I used to make the actual logo. If you can't already see, there is some back here. I just used some red masking tape. This is from Scotch, so shout out to you, Scotch, if you're watching this. But I mean, you probably aren't because, hey, but yeah. So this is it. And it looks pretty good. I'll bring in Commissioner Gordon too, and I'll even bring in the Joker and Captain Boomerang. But this is it. So I hope that you enjoyed Kevin and my tutorial on how to make your very own Imaginext coat. I know that there are a lot of characters that you probably want coats for, and so shout out to, what's the channel name? Father and Son StopMotion for giving me the idea to even customize our Captain Boomerang, because originally we only had the beanie and the there is actually a cross belt, and then we had the Boomerang shirt under it. But then I found the idea to make a scarf out of electrical tape, and then make a coat. And so just thank you to everybody for inspiration. Make sure that you come back in a few months for a Red Hood and Batman Beyond versus. Please make sure to like and subscribe. We have almost hit 500 subscribers, which is ridiculous. Make sure that you share it with anybody who you think would be interested. This is James.
And Kevin, signing off.
Signing out.
Thank you.
Peace and chicken grease!